Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel and today we're doing a good old-fashioned chatty get ready with me. We've got life updates, Frank updates as he is joining us in the chair. So I hope you'll stick around, hang out, keep watching, and let's jump in. So, as I mentioned, Frank has joined us. He's been really enjoying hanging out in the chair, so I hope he stays that way. You know, just a nice chill time. Also, we were trimming a tree outside of my window, so there's a screen here. I can't be bothered to move it. Moving on. I have a tinted sunscreen on, but I got a package in the mail today with all of my new Beauty Pie stuff and the new Beauty lip glaze in number 8. This is not going to be a review on these products. I will have to find another way to do that. This is purely first impressions, and I'm going to prep my lips with this just because they're very dry. It is one of those pH changing ones, so we'll see if my lips are hot pink by the end of this. It smells very good though. I already know I love it, but what I'm getting at is I'm not going to be talking about products. I just want to chat with you. We haven't done one of these in a while where I just kind of like talk about what's going on with me. I think it's honestly been since I announced that I was starting a new job and it threw off my schedule and we had gotten Frank. So I have mentioned in passing that Frank had the big snip, so we'll get into all that as I apply makeup. So I'm not going to be talking about the products. I will do a video with these products because it is an entire face of nothing but Beauty Pie minus the tinted moisturizer or SPF and the lip that I just put on, but I've got a lip that I'll change into. So, how's everyone doing? I have not sat down to do something like this in so long, and I'm so excited. Like, first let's address the fact that I missed my upload Monday, but I did get something up today, which is Tuesday. And I do need to get ready to be on camera later this afternoon, so that's what we're doing. And also, when I get into those times where like my schedule gets crazy, this is the video that I always want to go to because like I feel like I just want to share with you why is it so crazy. And this last month, I think everyone has felt the craziness. It's just been a time in humanity of craziness, which maybe we'll get into. But first and foremost, Frank had the big snip a week ago tomorrow when you are watching this, and he's doing great. You can't really see his features, but that's his ear on top of his little plush cone. I'll insert a picture. The cone they sent him home in was just really hard, sharp plastic, and it was so large that like we would have had to have taken it off every time he needed a drink or ate and like couldn't chew a bone or anything. And since he can't run around and be his typical crazy self, chewing is a way to kind of like get their energy levels tapped out. So it's important for him to be able to do all those things without having one of us, you know, take the cone off. Plus, it was this really loud Velcro, and he's terrified of loud noises like that, especially so close to his ears. So we got him this little cat one that has a drawstring, and he looks like a little sunflower. I'm definitely going to have to put a picture in there. But he's doing great. You would never know. He had his neuter done, and he also had 3 extra baby teeth that had not fallen out removed since he was under anesthesia, and it did not slow him down at all. It's been very difficult to get him to recognize that he should be resting, and it's hard, right? Because like he doesn't understand why all of a sudden we're telling him no when he tries to go up the steps or jump and play. So it's been a process, but he's doing great. Again, you'd never even know that it happened. I was like so worried about it, and he's fine. Who knew, right? But I wanted to talk more so about me because obviously he has required a little bit more attention just because like we're picking him up to go up and down the steps from the first to the second story out to go out to the bathroom, all of that. So it has taken up some of my time. But also, I've now been in this new job for 2 months, which is crazy to me. Like officially 2 months this week, and I'm so busy. so busy, which is great. It's, you know, job security. I like what I'm doing. I love my team. I'm just very busy, and at times it can be a bit overwhelming when all I want to do is sit down and film. But I'm also having a health flare-up, and that's what I want to get into, because yeah, work's crazy, but like, welcome to the last decade of my life or more. I'm digging these colors so far. But anyway, I have talked on my channel a little bit. I have been diagnosed with PCOS and borderline hypothyroidism. I say borderline because I'm not going to get into too much detail, because I don't need someone to diagnose me. I already have the diagnosis that I need, and I'm going back next week to sit down with a hormone specialist. But, you know, every doctor views an optimal range differently for everyone, and it's very specific to individuals, which makes sense to me. Much so the same with like what you should eat. It's very specific to you as an individual. Same with makeup. You know, everything is just, I don't know where we got to a point in society where everybody thought that like it's a one size fit all in any circumstance, but it's not. So my thyroid is slow, very slow again. My hormones are out of whack, so I'm having symptoms again. So when I got my diagnosis, I went to a lot of different doctors, dietitians, etc., to find out how to manage the PCOS and thyroidism, because there is no cure. And I've had doctors tell me I'm not a candidate for hormone replacement therapy. I can't do birth control because of migraines and risk of stroke. It's not a risk I'm willing to take. And I want to preserve my fertility if I can, if I even have fertility, which is what we're going to get to the bottom to next week. But it's been rough, because I have mentioned I lost 70 pounds. I switched up my lifestyle, and I was managing the symptoms well. Like, I felt on top of the world. I felt so much better. But now we've kind of like backslid, and a lot of it has to do with things that have gone on in my personal life that kind of disrupted the routine that I was in. But also, it's just the name of the game. Like, this is something you manage throughout your life. You're never going to like completely solve it. And it makes it really difficult, right? Because when you have these disorders, the best thing you can do is eat healthy, exercise, maintain a healthy weight. But these disorders make it so difficult to lose weight, to maintain a healthy weight, and you gain weight very easily. So I'm like on this upward trajectory of having worse and worse symptoms and not being able to maintain what I put so much effort into getting to. Like 2 years of crazy changes and routines, and I'm just, one, sad that I'm back here, two, a little, you know, disappointed in myself. And what sucks is, on top of that, you have no energy. The fatigue from both of these things being wacky, just, it sucks. So I'm doing the absolute best that I can, and I'm not like,
poor me, I'm so sad.
I'm not that sad. I know what needs to be done now. I'm already like in the steps of doing what needs to be done, but it's that initial hump that you have to get over of not having energy to do anything. No mental or physical energy. You're just a blob, a potato, if you will. I like to call myself a potato. So I've been pushing through that to film, but also in that same vein, with everything going everything going along with this, just like in society, just craziness. It really starts to wear on you, you know? And I have my coping strategies. I can't wait. Like today, I'm hoping to get ready, wrap up some of my last meetings for the day, and then be able to sit down and film my favorites for the month, because man, has she been coping this month, you know? Hard. And I'm very excited to film and talk about that, but it's been rough. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But moving into a different discussion, and more so like channel updates, I don't need to change my upload schedule if that is what you guys are thinking coming out of that discussion. I will fight through the fatigue. I will get the things done that need done. And I am going to manage these symptoms to the point where I'm Superwoman again. You know, like I'm not worried about that. Again, I know it needs to be done. I'm already working on it. But I want to get into a discussion about a no-buy because recently on my channel, I feel like I have fallen into a bit of a trap of kind of falling into like a review channel. And of course I want to review products. Of course I do. I try products all the time just out of sheer joy. Like what you see on my channel is stuff that I would be buying anyway, except for one area. And that is those multi-creams. I love them so much, but I feel like I went super overboard in ordering all of them because I wanted to have a fully rounded thought on all of the brands offering multi-creams. And number one, that's just not realistic. And it's not conducive to what, like, using up products. Like, I need to use up a lot of what I already have. And I just kind of went ham on the 4th of July sales, the Nordstrom anniversary sale, and then these multi-creams. And now I know that I need to like take a step back, use up what I have, and also make better decisions about, okay, if I need to prioritize, I kind of got away from my wish list that I've talked about, and I need to get back into that, like stat. But I don't know if I want to do a no-buy because there are very exciting things coming up that I want to review. But I'm curious if you guys would want to see how I'm navigating, making sure that I'm purchasing the things that make sense and that are not only things that I want and want to use, but things that you want to see. Or do you want to see like my thought process around like even like the what are they called? Anti-haul videos or things like that, or like fantasy cart videos. If that's something you guys are interested in, because I could film so many of those. I have so many fantasy carts living out in the world right now. So let me know down below if you would be interested in that type of content. I am going to probably kick it off with a sort of declutter because I did go through my stuff just to understand like what's expired, what do I need to like get rid of, and things that I'm just like not using to free up space for new stuff coming in. So I will be doing that, but let me know about the like anti-hauls, fantasy carts, that kind of thing. And then I also like, I think it's not even that I like bought too much too, but it's like with those beauty pie videos, I love giving as much information on beauty pie as possible because again, like it's a whole membership and I want to make sure that people aren't entering the membership in without knowing for sure that that's for them. But doing that and then the other videos that I had already had planned, it was so review heavy that sometimes I just want to get on here and like play with makeup. And I get into my head that like, well, maybe no one wants to see me just play with makeup and talk about my life. But I look back at my videos and those are some of the ones that do kind of the best outside of beauty pie. So I think I'm going to do that. But again, let me know what's most helpful for you. I also want to reignite the beauty strategy series because beauty is my number one escapism from all this stuff. As we talk about like what I'm using to kind of like get through this kind of health situation and the current events in the world, like beauty is a very large part of that, and I want to be able to do that. I also need to be able to invest in better equipment because it will just make my life 10 times easier. And the equipment for filming and editing and all of that is not, you know, super cheap. It's very pricey. So I need to do that. But that's kind of what's going on, you know. I have so many favorites though to go over later today that I am so excited to film. I think you guys will really enjoy it. I'm hoping because there's some good stuff. There's some good makeup products, but there's also some really solid like entertainment-y type of things, planning type of things, like just so much fun stuff that I might even have to break it up into 2 separate videos. That's how serious this is. And I need to figure out how I want to film those declutter videos because I already decluttered it. That's the other thing, is I was late because I spent all weekend cleaning up my office, organizing the drawers, organizing the vanity, trying to figure out exactly how I want to place everything that makes sense for work, filming, and just generally functioning in this room before I hang the wallpaper, which is on this side of me. It's gorgeous. It's so beautiful. I cannot wait to get it up, but I needed to get the rest of the room ready so that I can move things around and put it up. So I'm hoping I can kind of get ahead in filming this week so that this weekend I can spend some time trying to get that wallpaper up. I am slightly nervous because I've never hung wallpaper, but it is removable, and I've played around with sample pieces of it enough that I feel pretty comfortable. They also sent a kit and they have videos on the best ways to hang it, so I think I might either rope my husband or my friend in to helping me, because I do think it's a 2-person job to get it at least like started at the very top. But yeah, just a lot of moving pieces right now. And I also want to comment on, like, I know there's been a lot of videos made of like YouTube is dying, or beauty YouTube specifically is dying. And I think my favorite video on it yet, no surprise here, was Kackies' video. And it resonated with me so much that I actually messaged her and started talking about this, and then I was like, you know what? We're going to sit down and film my thought process around this. So she kind of mentions in there the timeline of how we got to where we are and how we as a collective society are untrusting, maybe not so happy with the status quo, all of that. And as soon as she started talking about this, in my head I just started singing The Age of Aquarius, which, if you don't know that song, highly recommend you go check it out, by Fifth Dimension. The version where it's Age of Aquarius into Let the Sunshine In is my very favorite. We actually played that in high school, and I was the drum major at the time, and it still gives me chills to this day. But the words is what I feel like we all need to hear right now. But why it's also relevant is there's controversy on exactly when the Age of Aquarius is supposedly starting. But most people say it's either 2020 or 2021. I tend to lean towards 2021. But an age in astrology is typically hundreds and hundreds of years, because you have to go through all of the signs, essentially. And I'll put some links down below to describe what that means. But we are entering into the age of Aquarius. And what a new age typically brings is like people kind of questioning how culture and society has been set up previously, and it kind of represents almost a fall of what that looks like and a new beginning of something better, supposedly better. Now, with that being in Aquarius, it's supposed to be, since it is a very intellectual sign, it's supposed to be very enlightening. We're supposed to be able to come to like a new level of consciousness, as it may be, and you bring that along with you so that you apply those things to this new age. And it also revolves strongly around like humanity and peace. Listen to the song, it kind of gives you like the Reader's Digest version. But that is how I'm like, I told her I'm like white knuckling optimism right now by listening to that song. And I think it's relevant with the whole YouTube dying thing, because I agree with Kackie in that I don't think beauty YouTube is dying. I wouldn't have started a channel if I thought that it was dying. Do I think it's going through a great change and it's going to be much different from what we saw before? Yeah, but guess what? I've been watching since 2008 and I have seen it change multiple times. I think this is the most disruptive change. I think Kackie slightly mentioned this in her video that like the first bubble has burst, which I think you can expect with anything. Things are cyclical, they go through cycles. Does that mean that it's like over for everybody? No, it just means that we need to change what it has been into what it is going to be for the next iteration. And to her point, does it mean that I came on YouTube wanting to be someone with millions of followers? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's not a worse nightmare that I could conjure for myself. I came here specifically for community, and that is another point that she brings up in her video, that, you know, she sees us even as a collective society moving more towards community. And I agree. And while I think a lot of that will probably be in person since we were, you know, kept apart for the pandemic, I also tend to think that there's still a strong argument for finding community online, especially for people like growing up. The internet was not what it is today. I'm an aging queen, but I grew up in a very small town in West Virginia. There were not a ton of people that wanted to be super avant-garde and fashion forward and talk about fashion design. I would have killed to have community at my fingertips like a lot of us do now. And I still feel that way in my everyday life. I still want to build those connections with people who love beauty, makeup, finding things that we can kind of channel our energy into to help us get through trying times. And that's why I'm here. And I don't think that that's going anywhere. I think, you know, it might not be the youth's favorite platform, but am I here to tell an 18-year-old how to do her makeup? No, absolutely not. I know nothing about that. I'm not hip with the children anymore. I'm not trying to tell the children what's cool. I'm here to tell you what I think is cool. And I don't know that that's going to be necessarily for 18-year-olds. Do you know what I mean? I have maturing skin. I have tastes that have predated even my own age. So like, I just want to talk to people about the things that I like. That's why I want to buy products from the brands that I like. I will continue with Beauty Pie, but I don't want to be just Beauty Pie. I love in beauty. I love some of these indie brands I'm discovering. And I want to talk to people who are curious about the same things or who want to create looks that are similar to mine. And I think that that's still here. Or I wouldn't be here trying to cultivate these relationships with you, build these connections with you. And I'm so happy that you're here. It means the world to me that you are here, especially in a time where it's being questioned, like, is this even a viable thing anymore? I'm just happy to be here. I'm so happy that you are here. We're going to get through all this stuff. So this is the look I came up with. I'm more than happy to wear this for meetings and things. Honestly, these products performed exceptionally well. I'm going to have to work with the base products a little bit more, but this was a quick one. I am going to go wrap up my meetings for the day, maybe get a cuddle in with Frank. He's like really balled up. And then I'm going to film July favorites, which is really going to be what got me through this month. So I hope you're having a great day. This was by no means meant to be upsetting. Sometimes I think my delivery paired with my voice makes me sound, you say it's soothing. I'm trying to not be depressive, you know, because I'm not a depressive person. I'm also not a soothing person. I'm very chaotic underneath this, and I have a lot of woo-woo thoughts underneath this, and I don't know that just by my voice and appearance you would know that. But you guys know it because I know the ones that have been here for a while. I love having conversations with you down in the comments. I'm always available on Instagram. If you know the song that I'm talking about, Age of Aquarius, sing it to yourself, give you a little pep talk. And if you don't, please go check it out. I will link a really good rendition with the lyrics in the description box down below. I hope that you're taking care of yourself. I hope that you have a loving day, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.